Hey guys, it's Miss Racker. This is an instructional video on using the resources that you've been given to work your way through the agenda for the day. Let's begin where we should always begin, which is in Google Classroom. We're going to get to that through our Chrome browser. So click on that. You should have your Google Classroom pinned in your Rubik's Cube or your waffle, which is what we call this apps section right here. Once you open your Google Classroom app, you should be able to find your classroom for whichever class it is you're working on. For us, it's EES. I'm just going to click on first period because that's the first one. If you notice, here's your stream. That's where I put all of your announcements and such. And you have your upcoming dates over here on the left. But we're looking for the work, so we're going to go to the classwork tab. I have this organized by topic, and within the topic I have it organized by day and date. We're going to work on, in this video, Tuesday, the 18th of August agenda. So we're going to click on that. And then click on the link for the actual slide presentation itself. And once this loads, you should be able to walk directly through it step by step by step with each individual slide until you get to your finished product. That's the way I have these slides set up. The first one is your title slide. That tells you my classroom and just the basics of what you're going to do that day. If you look over on the left-hand side of the smaller menu here, you'll see things like a little comment box or little, looks like bouncy balls. This shows that there's an animation for that slide. You'd want to make sure that you hit present for that slide to get the full effect of it. You want to make sure that you also look at the comment for slide 1. Slide 1 does have a comment on it that says, make sure to write your essential question down before you begin. Wherever it is that you want to write that would be great, but you need to make sure that you have it written down. This slide is the information that you need to get the class started. It's like things like if you have materials that you're going to need for this slide presentation, they'd be listed here. Whatever topic we're going to do, essential questions, etc. So we're going to go on to slide 2. Slide 2 is just an overview of the day. It tells us what we're going to do in the first part and how long it's going to last. It tells us what we're going to do in the second part and how long that section is going to last. Again, there's not really anything to do on either of these two slides yet. Now, slide 3, let's look at the bottom of it first just to see what it says that it is. This slide shows you a couple of different ways to use your note cards, and they're figurative note cards, on the bulletin board for this class. So if you hit present, it's going to walk you through exactly what to do. Slowly, but it'll walk you through. The first thing is to go to our Google Classroom and then go to the Classwork tab, which we've already done. Scroll down to get the bulletin board first period fall semester. So we're going to go back to the Google Classroom. There we go. Made that a little bit bigger for you too. Back in our Google Classroom, we're going to go to the stream and scroll down until we get to the bulletin board. Now, so that you don't have to toggle back and forth so much, I'm going to split screen this so we don't get confused. So our directions said to scroll down to the bulletin board for first period fall. Now, what we want to do is watch the animation. So when you make the click, you're going to see this is what it looks like. I've given you a screenshot of what your Google Classroom classwork section looks like, and I've told you where to find your bulletin board. Your next thing is to fill the card in with your name on it. You can do that by typing your name on it, any font you want, any color you want, as long as it's your name and not some bad word or something ridiculous like that. This is an example of what it should look like. This is a sample class that I have. And these people obviously wrote their names in there. I'm going to pull that up on my computer that I have to the side so I can look at it to see who is here and who's not. Obviously, William in this class is not here. So that's one of the ways I take attendance very quickly. So if you ever have questions in class, in order to get my attention, using your mic, unmuting yourself on your mic is kind of disruptive. So I'm going to have, like I said, these cards pulled up on my computer to the side. And if you make your card red, it'll get my attention and let me know who has a question. So here in this example, Hudson made his red and Olivia made hers red. Let me show you how to do that. It's pretty easy. You make a text box and then you fill the color, fill it with whatever color you want. This is actually the one for first period. I did put these neat little things on the side to help you out so that it's just not so hard for you to do. Let's say that this person here, John Doe, has a question, so he's going to pull the little red tab over and then just make it bigger. And that's pretty much all you have to do. You can make it the same size as the white card. But any red blob like that is going to get my attention so that I know that somebody has a question. So that's all you have to do. So going back to the slide presentation, we finished with that slide. We're going to go to slide 4. If you look at slide 4, it tells you what we've already done. Over on the left-hand side, with the big yellow check mark, that tells you where we already have been in Part A, and now we're going to go to number 5 in Part A. Number 5 says to review what we did yesterday in class. Now you can click this link right here, this hyperlink, and get the worksheet, but when I made the assignment, I pushed one out to everybody, so you should have your own copy that you can type on. So if you go to the assignment and click on that, that'll be in classwork. And this is your review. Here, you click on the work. It takes you to the sheet, and you can put your name over here. You should be able to type on this because you got your own copy of it. If for some reason you didn't get your own copy of it, you can open it up, try to type on it. You can't type on it. You go to File, Make a Copy, and that lets you make a copy of it that you have for yourself. So your directions were to look at this and check your materials to make sure that you've done each one of these things. A lot of you have signed up for Remind, and that's great. If you don't know the code for Remind, it was in your email that I sent you last Thursday. So once you've verified that you've done all of these things, look through and make sure you verified it. You need to make sure that you remember that IDK, NA, I have no clue, this is stupid, whatever, is not an acceptable answer. There's also an extra question at the bottom that says, why do you think we did number 1 and number 3 instead of staying chronologically with number 1 and number 2? If you look at the videos, which you will find right here, if you had to guess the topics for the first video, it's talking about your icons and moving fast and that kind of thing. That's just showing you your icons on Google, what they look like. The second section is talking about apps. The third section is showing you the difference in your stream and your classwork and how to use those. So far, would we have used the apps more, or would we have used the classwork more? Probably classwork. Well, definitely classwork. That's why I chose that one instead, because we were going to need to use it that day. So however it is that you wanted to have that answer written down, that was just a thought question to get you thinking. Accept that. Once you have finished this, you should attach it to the assignment and hit submit it, and then hit mark as done. And that way I know to grade yours. Okay, so once you have finished that checklist, you can give yourself a 3-minute break. If you go to the next slide, there is a 3-minute timer on it. The hyperlink right here has a URL for 3-minute timer, so you can time yourself for your break. Do get up and stretch. Make sure that you get some blood flowing. Going on to the next slide, this is part B of our class. It tells you how long it's going to last and what we're doing in it. This one's animated, so let's push that. So we just revealed the answer for the last question on the checklist. Now I want to make sure that you have your bulletin boards up, so in case you have any questions, I can help you. You're going to continue with your Get to Know Google Classroom worksheet. You're going to do number 2, number 4, and number 5. And when I say do these, what you're going to do is watch the video and then answer the questions for them. Yes, you have to do all of them. And this is student-driven work. So at this point, you are doing the work, and I am here just to consult with you. If you have any questions, I'll look at your note card on the bulletin board, and I'll know who to ask questions, asking questions, so who I need to help. So let's do this. Now, at the end of doing all of your work, I'm going to ask you a few questions, me meaning the Bitmoji me. If it's 8:45 and it's time for us to finish up, you should be able to answer this essential question by now. Can you? Try it. Once you finish with that, you can organize your stuff for this class and get ready for the next class. And tomorrow, we're going to have just a little bit more Google to do, and then we're done with it. So if you look at the worksheet that I've asked you to do, your Get to Know Google Classroom worksheet. That is this worksheet that you were given Monday. That was pushed out to you Monday. So you should still have it. If you, for some reason, turned it in, unsubmit it, please, so that you can continue working on it. You should have section 1 finished and section 3 finished, and you'll be working on 2. I'll even make that highlighted for you. I'm going to bold it. You're going to be working on number 2, number 4. Number 5. Which means we still have these 4 sections to go. So you should have everything you need right now to work your way through this. And like I say, if you have any questions, let me know.